began to find and speak to and interview the people in the book, I began to find that it changed on me and it changed me. And the people in the book came from various fields, and some of them, like Ted, are artists. And did you imagine that it would end up looking like this with your heads when you began?
No, not at my age.
No, not at your age. You didn't think you'd live to see it?
No. Might take a few years, but eventually we're going to finish it.
What's it like seeing your work in the stream like that? Does it?
Oh, well, inspiration, additional booster. We can call it shot in the arm.
Shot in the arm.
And,
Ted, we're here at Creekside at GAGA in Garnerville, where Ted has now donated some of his work for this really lovely place. When I wrote the book, when I was writing his chapter, he had not yet begun to donate his work or sell some of his work here. And so it actually isn't mentioned in the book. So I'm really delighted to be here and see Ted's work. Ted is such an interesting story in that, here was a man who grew up in a Polish village in Poland named Adwach, and when he was about 9 years old, the Nazis invaded, and overnight they took half of the population, which was Jewish. There was a population of 30,000 people in Adwach, and overnight 15,000 of them disappeared. And many of Ted's good friends as children were Jewish boys, and as he says, he grew up in this town, in this compound, and when the other families ate matzah, his family ate matzah. He survived the Nazi occupation, and then he survived Stalinism, and then he got on a ship, and he stowed away on a ship and went to India, where he really came in contact with great works of Indian art and Buddhist art, and he thinks that that's some of where the inspiration for his work came. He then found his way to Rome, where he was stuck for a while because he ran into ex-Polish soldiers who told him, don't go back to Poland. If you go back to Poland, you will be sent to the Gulag, or executed by the Soviets. And so at that point he was stuck in Rome for a while and became a guide of Rome to tourists. And again, he feels as if that further enriched his sense of art. But here at GAGA, James Tyler, I believe, had this great idea that they could get Ted to sell them or give them some of his heads and make this beautiful setting in nature. And in a way, they could reuse nature the way that Ted, in a sense, reuses nature in carving stone, and the way in which the buildings here at GAGA are now being reinvented and reused. So the theme of reinvention is really complete here in many ways. We have former industrial buildings that were dye factories and so forth that are now being used as artist studios and for furniture making, and the place has come to life again with great creativity and creative activity. And with Ted's work here along the creek, the Creekside has become a really beautiful place, and I'm sure it will over time. You were able to be creative at
I don't know, maybe it was because I traveled at one time, like I was in India, in Egypt, Greece, lived in Rome for 2 years, So to me, are fascinating for me, all these arts, you know, especially in Rome and Florence, Bologna. I was 2 years, so maybe that was probably major impact on my, was memorable, was in the brain someplace, you know, and was like waiting for the right moment. At that time I didn't think about, you know, what I'm going to do in the future, but I still memorize everything and was waiting for the right moment.
When people ask me for advice now on how they find their passion, what would you tell people if they say to you, you know, I've lived a life, but I haven't done what I wanted to do. I want to become an artist. I want to become a painter. I want to do something with my life. What would you tell them? How
search your soul and work on your mind. But search your soul. Try to find the spirit. Yeah, dig up the spirit from your mind.